こんにちは。ジャパニーズポッド101です。
おはよう東京。こんばんはニューヨーク。こんにちはロンドン。
Lower Beginner, Season 1, Lesson 20. Are you having a bad time in Japan? Hi everyone, Alicia です。Alicia here.
こんにちは、夏子です。Hi everyone, I'm Natsuko.
Welcome to Lower Beginner, Season 1, Lesson 20. Are you having a bad time in Japan?
In the last lesson, we learned the past tense of verbs. Do you remember? In this lesson, we'll learn past tense sentences using adjectives and nouns.
Where does this lesson's dialogue take place?
Ken is now back from his holiday. He's having a conversation with his colleague at the office. では、聞きましょう。
Let's listen to the conversation.
鹿児島に行きました。お土産です。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。旅行は楽しかったですか？
最悪でした。財布を落としました。
大変でしたね。
はい。とても高い財布でした。
警察に連絡しましたか？
警察？いいえ。
ウッドさん、鹿児島警察から電話です。
Let's hear the conversation one time slowly.
鹿児島に行きました。お土産です。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。旅行は楽しかったですか？
最悪でした。財布を落としました。
大変でしたね。
はい。とても高い財布でした。
警察に連絡しましたか？
警察？いいえ。
ウッドさん、鹿児島警察から電話です。
Now let's hear it with the English translation.
鹿児島に行きました。お土産です。どうぞ。
We went to Kagoshima. This is a souvenir. Here you are.
ありがとうございます。旅行は楽しかったですか？
Thanks very much. Did you have a fun trip?
最悪でした。財布を落としました。
It was terrible. I lost my wallet.
大変でしたね。
What? That must have been awful.
はい。とても高い財布でした。
Yes, it was a really expensive wallet.
警察に連絡しましたか？
Did you call the police?
警察？いいえ。
The police? No.
ウッドさん、鹿児島警察から電話です。
Mr. Wood, there's a call for you from the Kagoshima Police Department. I wonder what Ken bought as souvenirs.
Me too. He went to Kagoshima and is now back with lovely omiyage, which means souvenirs. We usually buy special sweets or snacks from the place we visit and offer them to our colleagues.
Ah, that's not something we do. Sometimes we might buy postcards or a small gift for friends.
Oh, I see. If we have some days off work, which means we have to ask our colleagues to take care of our job, bringing some omiyage from your holiday trip is considered a common courtesy or natural appreciation.
We can see how kind gestures such as souvenirs create smooth communication in the workplace. Okay, now on to the vocab. Let's take a look at the vocabulary for this lesson. The first word we shall see is
お土産
a small gift, a souvenir.
おみやげお土産
Next,
どうぞ、
go ahead. Here you are.
どうぞ、どうぞ。
Next is
最悪な、
terrible. The worst.
最悪な、最悪な。
Next is
大変な、
awful.
大変な、大変な。
Next is
とても、
very.
とても、とても。
Next is
連絡、
contacting. Call. Connection.
連絡、連絡。
And last,
電話、
telephone. Phone call.
電話、電話。
Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of the words and phrases from this lesson. Natsuko, what's the first word?
最悪。The literal meaning of 最悪 is the most terrible or the worst. We often use this word to describe something that was terrible or that situation is very bad.
In the dialogue, Ken was asked how his trip was, and he answered,
最悪でした. His trip went badly because he lost his wallet. Do you remember that?
oh yes, he had to ring the credit card company. So that's why he described his trip as 最悪.
Exactly. We can use this 最悪 to describe quite much anything, even as a reply to お元気ですか? How are you? If you're not doing well at all.
I see. Can you give us some more examples?
Sure. If we are traveling to a resort tomorrow and you're checking the weather, I'd ask you, 天気はどうですか? How is the weather? And let's say it seems to be very bad. You can say 最悪です, meaning very bad, or it couldn't be worse.
Well, I hope I won't have to use it in that way. Still, it's true that these things don't always go well, so you might need this useful word to express that you're not happy with the situation. Okay, now on to the grammar. In this lesson, you'll learn about past tense sentences with adjectives and nouns.
Right. We studied the past tense of verbs in the previous lesson. When a sentence has a verb in it, we can conjugate the verb to the past tense to describe something that happened in the past.
Japanese sentences might not have verbs, and that's the point of this lesson.
For example, Ken's colleague asked Ken, 旅行は楽しかったですか? This means, was the trip fun? 楽しい is an E adjective. To say it was fun in the past tense, we have to conjugate this E adjective 楽しい to 楽しかった.
Can you explain how to conjugate in more detail?
From 楽しい, drop the final E and add かった. 楽しかった. 楽しかった.
So, if the adjective was 小さい,
Drop the final E, 小さ, then add かった, 小さかった, 小さかった.
good. Does this rule apply to any E adjective?
There's one exception. The E adjective for good is E, and the past tense for this E is よかった.
Okay, this is the only exception, so we can remember easily, right? Listeners, let's practice. Please repeat after Natsuko. Being fun. 楽しい in the past tense is
楽しかった.
being good. E in the past tense becomes
よかった.
well done. Now, listeners, do you remember that Japanese has two types of adjectives? Let's see the past tense for na adjectives.
Ken described his trip as 最悪でした. 最悪な is a na adjective. To say it was terrible, we drop the final na from the na adjective and then add でした. 最悪でした. 最悪でした.
Please remember, for both the E adjective and the na adjective, you have to drop the final sound, E or na, and then add the past ending for adjectives.
That's right. Other examples of the na adjectives are きれいな beautiful and 簡単な easy. In the past tense, these are きれいでした and 簡単でした.
Okay, let's practice those two. First, it was beautiful.
きれいでした
It was easy.
簡単でした
How was it?
Before wrapping up this lesson, we have also past tense sentences with nouns, but this is easy. 簡単です After the noun, we replace this with でした
That's the same ending as na adjectives.
Yes, it is. So, if we had a festival yesterday, 昨日は祭りでした
Listeners, make sure you practice the past tense with adjectives and nouns to get used to these conjugations. Okay, everyone, that's about all we have time for this lesson. Listeners, ever have any Japanese language or lesson-related questions?
Or maybe you have some feedback for us.
Leave us a comment or ask a question on the lessons page.
It's super simple. Go to JapanesePod101.com,
Click on comments,
enter your comment and name.
and that's it.
Commenting is a great way to practice writing and reading in Japanese.
It helps you learn faster.
And it helps us get better through your feedback.
No excuses.
Go to JapanesePod101.com and comment now.
Now! See you next time.
じゃあまた。
鹿児島に行きました。お土産です。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。旅行は楽しかったですか？
最悪でした。財布を落としました。
大変でしたね。
はい。とても高い財布でした。
警察に連絡しましたか？
警察？いいえ。
ウッドさん、鹿児島警察から電話です。